Hello everyone, today I am going to start the second topic of class 11 history, writing and city life. This chapter basically deals with the Mesopotamian civilization. Remember, the Mesopotamian civilization is one of the ancient civilization the world ever had. Basically, the current location of the Mesopotamian civilization is in Iraq. So, city life began in Mesopotamia, the land between Euphrates and Tigris river. Remember, the word Mesopotamia derived from the Greek word Mesos meaning middle and Potamos meaning river. So, the land between the rivers, the middle portion of the two rivers is generally considered as the Mesopotamia. When you open the NCERT, you can see the location of Mesopotamia on page number 30. This is the location of Mesopotamia. This geographical location of Mesopotamia is very important. You can see that in the northern part of the Mesopotamian civilization, there is a steppe land where animal herding is the main occupation. Agriculture began between 7000 and 6000 BCE. To the east, there is the northern mountains of Iran, and to the south there is a desert portion. Okay, so the desert portion is a part of the Sahara desert portion. Okay, and the main communication of the Mesopotamian civilization generally provided by the two rivers Tigris and Euphrates. Remember, the Tigris and Euphrates carried loads of silt and mud from the northern mountains, and these loads of silt and mud usually deposited on the banks of the two rivers. Therefore, the banks of the two rivers became very fertile in nature, and agriculture became the one of the important activity of the Mesopotamian people. So we can say that on the occupation basis, there are two occupations of the Mesopotamian people. First one is agriculture and second one is pastoralism. Generally, agriculture done on the banks of the two rivers Tigris and Euphrates, and pastoralism done on the northern part of the steppe land of the Mesopotamian civilization. Okay, in the desert, Euphrates flows out into small channels. These channels flood their banks in the past, functioned as irrigation canals. Several crops like wheat, barley, peas and lentil grow. As I told you, the southern portion is the desert portion, but agriculture activity was not being stopped in the southern portion because the tributaries of Euphrates provide water for the agriculture, and therefore there was a expansion of agriculture in the southern portion too. Okay, our next topic, that is topic 2, significance, that is our topic 2, significance of urbanization. You can see there are three major urban centers of Mesopotamian civilization: Ur, Uruk and Mare. These three important centers will be discussed in my next classes because all these three centers have different importance. Okay, gradually the cities of Mesopotamia are self-sufficient and depends on materials and minerals for the villages and the other areas. Generally, division of labor is mark of the urban life of the Mesopotamian civilization. Trade, manufacturing and services like such as production of craft are the basis of the economy of the Mesopotamian civilization. I told you that in my first topic that agriculture and pastoralism is the main basis of the economy of the Mesopotamian civilization. But when we are dealing of the urban centers, and we are basically discussing about the city life, trading, manufacturing and the craft production became the basis of the economy. And one of the famous craft work of the Mesopotamian civilization is called the Warka head. Last day in my class I discussed you about the passage based question, right? So in the NCERT you can find the famous craft work of the Mesopotamian civilization is generally known as the Warka head. Okay, remember this passage is very important for the source based question. So please mark in your book for the source based question answers. You can see this Warka head is considered as one of the world famous sculpture, and you can see in the picture that is the eyes and eyebrows would probably have taken lapis lazuli and shell and bitumen inlays respectively. Remember, lapis lazuli, shell and bitumen, and also the white marble generally not available in the Mesopotamia. They usually collected these things from the different places. Okay, so they usually collected these things from the different places, and all these things accumulated in the urban centers, and then the craft work generally done. And remember, this craft work was produced at Uruk and around 3000 BCE. Okay. In the picture you can see there is a groove, one groove is there in the head, and these probably used for the ornament. Okay, this is the world famous sculpture, that is Warka head. Next topic I will discuss you about the movement of goods into cities. I told you that Mesopotamian civilization is lack of mineral resources, but there is an abundance of textiles and crops. As you all know that the Mesopotamian civilization was very fertile because of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, and they usually grow wheat, barley, lentil, and they usually exported these things to the other neighboring nations like Syria, Lebanon, Turkey, Iran, and they imported materials like wood, copper, tin, silver, gold and various stones. Okay, Tigris and Euphrates provide are the main basis of the transportation system. Because of these river, the transportation become very cheapest. As I told you in my first class, if you look at the geographical portion of the Mesopotamian civilization, the eastern part is full of mountain, southern part is full of desert, and the northern part is basically a steppe land. So land communication, land route, it's not very popular in the Mesopotamian civilization, and it was very time consuming and expensive too. So there was a huge popularity of the waterways transport, and the Tigris and Euphrates connects to the different areas of the Mesopotamian civilization like Iran, Turkey, Syria, and also these rivers connect the Asian continent also. Let me give you a small fact about the Mesopotamian civilization. That is, I hope you heard about the Indus Valley civilization, right? The Indus Valley civilization generally developed in the Indian subcontinent. Okay, so historians, they believed that Indus Valley civilization and Mesopotamian civilization, they are contemporary of each other, because the historians found lots of evidence of trade relations between Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so and that all these things generally possible because of these sea route and trade and the water route. In my next classes, I will discuss you about the development of writing in the Mesopotamian civilization. Thank you and have a nice day.